one and only friend that he had, and I was being seen with Ronnie around town quite a bit at different times. So quite naturally, they wanted to solve this crime, and I was more or less, like pulled into it because I knew
So basically,
Ronnie.
you were associating with somebody else that they suspected of the crime.
Yes,
Okay. And so the trial was in Ada, and when did the conviction occur? What year?
I was in 1980, actually 1988 is when I went to trial and was convicted.
And what were your feelings during the trial? Did you feel, did you see the result coming?
Yeah, I seen the writing on the wall. Especially, that town was pretty noted for overzealous prosecutor who wanted to convict at any cost. It just happened to be that particular year was an election year for him, and especially when I got before the jury, and I seen some of the stares and glares from some of the jury members throughout the trial. I more or less I knew that I was going to go down on this. I had a strong feeling.
So when you heard the verdict, it wasn't a shock?
Well, of course, it was. My mother and my aunt was there, and they were shrieking in the background when the verdict was read, but I could say that I was prepared to hear that verdict.
And we know that you've been exonerated, but I'd like you to just speak for just a couple minutes, because our time is limited, about what you think caused this erroneous conviction to happen in that trial. What was the evidence that was presented against you, and what happened in the trial that led to the wrong result?
Well, I think to begin with, of course, Ada, Oklahoma, the reason it has had kind of a reputation for wrongful convictions, and Mr. Grisham wrote about one of those cases in his book, The Innocent Man, was the famous Tommy Ward and Carl Fontenot case that was, they were convicted without a body upon coerced confessions. But that kind of set the stage, per se, for this was in 1984, and there was a lot of pressure put on the city of Ada, and that being such a high-profile case, when Debbie was murdered, then the police were really expected to solve this murder. Well, basically, they didn't have any evidence whatsoever, except, no eyewitnesses, no fingerprints as such, no direct evidence, but they did have the strength of state's case was serology evidence, blood evidence,